Hello everyone. In previous lecture we had discussed the cell membrane and its functions. Now today we will discuss the cell nucleus. Cell nucleus is also known as the control center of the cell. Before going inside the depth of the cell nucleus theory, we will discuss the structure of nucleus, cell nucleus. So these are the important components of a cell nucleus because all the functions has been carried out through these components. As we all knows that cell nucleus is a major important part of a cell because it contains all the genetic information of a living being. So these are the components: nuclear pores. The gap between the nuclear envelopes is known as nuclear pores. From this side and this side, the space, this is known as nuclear pores. And the total rounding structure is known as nuclear envelope, which is surrounded by the nucleus and it protects from the jerk. Nucleoplasm, it is a fluid inside the nucleus. Nucleolus, this is the important function which is also known as ribosome factory, and the thread-like structure is known as chromatin. It is inside the nucleus known as chromatin, and during cell division it is known as chromosomes. Now we will discuss in detail each and every component of the cell nucleus. The nucleus is one of the most important organelles in eukaryotic cells. It serves as the control center, directing all cellular activities by storing and protecting the cell's genetic material, that is DNA. Unlike prokaryotic cells, which lack a nucleus, eukaryotic cells have a membrane-bound nucleus that ensures genetic material is well organized and regulated. The nucleus is involved in gene expression, DNA replication, and ribosome synthesis, making it crucial for cell growth and function and reproduction. Now we will discuss the structure and location of the nucleus. Structure we have already discussed, and location of the nucleus. The nucleus is a large spherical or oval shaped organelle found in the center of most eukaryotic cells. It is enclosed by a nuclear membrane. This is nuclear membrane, also known as nuclear envelope, which separates it from the cytoplasm and controls the movement of molecules in and out. The nucleus contains chromatin, means DNA and protein, combinedly known as chromatin, and this is chromatin. It is consists of DNA and protein. Combinedly it is called chromatin. A nucleolus, this is a nucleolus, and nuclear pores, all of which contribute to its role as the cell's information hub. Now the components, as I already discussed, components: nuclear envelope, it is a double membrane structure and protecting DNA from damage and regulating transport between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. Nuclear pores function is it allows RNA, proteins and signaling molecules to pass in and out. Chromatin, it is a combination of DNA and proteins, histone proteins that condense into chromosomes during cell division. Nucleoplasm, it is a gel-like substance that support nuclear components. Nucleolus, it is a dense region inside the nucleus responsible for the ribosome production. For an instance, we should try to understand that how nucleus is work. Nucleus act as a library inside our body. Suppose we go to the library to study the so many types of books, and the gate of the library is known as a secure library door. Nobody can enter without permission. So, nucleus is a library where all the instructions for building and maintaining the cell are stored. DNA is like a set of books containing blueprints, and the nuclear envelope acts as a secure library door, which ensures that only authorized persons, RNA and proteins can enter and leave with necessary information. Next is functions of the nucleus. Protecting and regulating genetic information is the major topmost function of the nucleus. The nucleus plays a central role in storing, protecting, and regulating genetic information. It ensures that the correct genes are expressed at the right time and that DNA is copied accurately during cell division. Next is storing genetic material, that is DNA. The nucleus houses the cell's DNA, which contains the instructions which is needed to build protein and carry out cellular processes. DNA exists as chromatin during normal cell function and condense into chromosome during cell division. For example, human DNA storage. In human cells, nucleus contains 23 pairs of chromosomes, 46 in total number, each carrying thousands of genes. These genes determine traits like eye color, height, and blood group. Now next is the regulating gene expression. The nucleus controls which genes are turned on or off at a given time. This process ensures that cells produce only the proteins when they need it. For example, hemoglobin production in red blood cells. In developing red blood cells, the nucleus activates the gene for hemoglobin, allowing the cell to produce oxygen carrying molecules. However, in a nerve cell, this gene remains inactive as nerve cells do not need hemoglobin. DNA replication means preparing for cell division. Before a cell divides, its DNA must be copied so that both daughter cells receive identical genetic information. The nucleus oversees DNA replication, ensuring accuracy and preventing mutation. For example, skin cell regeneration. When we have a cut in our skin, so the cells of the skin divides rapidly to repair the wound. The nucleus ensures that the DNA is copied correctly so that the new cells functions properly. Next is the nucleolus, known as ribosome factory. Also, inside the nucleus, there is a dense round structure called nucleolus. This is nucleolus, which plays a key role in ribosome production. Ribosomes are essential for protein synthesis, making the nucleolus one of the most important part of the cell. Functions of nucleolus: produces ribosomal RNA known as rRNA. The nucleolus assembles ribosomal RNA, a crucial component of ribosomes. Next is combined ribosomal RNA with proteins. It forms ribosomal subunits which later assemble into functional ribosomes in the cytoplasm. Next is the regulate protein synthesis. The nucleolus ensures that ribosomes are made efficiently, allowing cells to produce protein as needed. For example, in high activity in growing cells, cells that produce large amount of proteins like pancreatic cells, which makes digestive enzymes, have large nucleoli because they needed more ribosome for protein production. And the next is the importance of nucleus in different cell types. The nucleus varies in size, shape, and function depending on the type of the cells. Some cells have one nucleus, while other cells have multiple nuclei or none at all. Single cell nuclei, most eukaryotic cells are single nucleus type of cell. Most plant and animal contain one nucleus which regulate all cellular activities. For example, in liver cells, only one nucleus is present to manage metabolism and detoxification. In multiple nuclei, means multinucleated cells, there are some specialized cells which contain multiple nuclei, allowing them to function efficiently. For example, skeletal muscle cells have multiple nuclei to support their large size and protein production. Next is no nucleus cells, means anucleated cells. Some cells lose their nucleus during development to increase efficiency. For example, red blood cells do not have a nucleus, allowing them to carry more oxygen. Next is the nucleus and disease. When things go wrong. Since the nucleus is responsible for DNA storage, regulation, any damage or mutation can lead to serious diseases like genetic disorder. If a mutation occurs in the DNA inside the nucleus, it can cause genetic disorders. For example, sickle cell anemia results from a single mutation in the hemoglobin gene, affecting red blood cells' ability to carry oxygen. Next is cancer, uncontrolled cell division. The nucleus loses control over the cell division. It can lead to the cancer. For example, in lung cancer, mutation in nuclear DNA cause cells to grow uncontrollably, forming tumors. Next is viral infections and the nucleus. Viruses often target the nucleus to hijack its machinery and replicate. For example, the HIV virus enters the nucleus of immune cells and integrates its genetic material, leading to AIDS. Now lastly, that the cell nucleus is essential for life, acting as the control center for genetic storage, gene regulation and cell division. It ensures that the correct proteins are made, DNA is copied accurately, ribosomes are produced efficiently. The nucleolus plays a vital role in ribosome synthesis, enabling protein production. The nucleus is just not a storage unit for DNA, it is an active organelle that regulates every aspect of cell function when controlling gene expression, directing cell division, or responding to environmental changes. The nucleus remains the most important structure in eukaryotic cells. So this is very important to understanding the functions, developing scenario where so many types of genetic orders like cancer, viral infections are developing. So highlighting its significance in medicine and biology. Thank you so much.